Hi everyone, Mr. Peabody here. Gonna have to talk about this one. A 95-year-old great-grandmother was tasered by police. Why? She suffered from dementia. So yeah, you can understand she suffers from dementia. She was in her room by herself, and it's only just come out that she had a steak knife. A steak knife. So it's a small serrated knife, and for her dinner, they would have given her the knife to cut up her food. She was in her room, so there was no one else in the room, and she had a serrated steak knife. I talked to my friend about this, and he said, well, maybe they've changed the rules since you were a nurse. The last time I was a nurse, probably about 2001, 2002, and then I became a private carer for a quadriplegic guy for about 4 years. So the last time I was actually in any nursing situation, whether it's nursing home, hospital, whatever, is a fair while ago, so maybe they've changed the rules. But I can tell you that if I was in that nursing home with that patient and they had a serrated knife, I would have taken the knife off her. It would have been that simple. She's got dementia. What does that mean? It means her short-term memory is not crash hot, but her long-term memory is good. So you can actually you can walk them back through their memories, and all you have to do is sit and talk with them for about a minute. And then if they would have sat and talked to her without confronting her, she would have put the knife down voluntarily. But no, the staff got alerted, and they were worried about this patient, and they called in the police, and the police tasered her. That is dangerous, especially for an elderly person. For starters, the shock of the taser can cause a heart attack. Forget about that. When someone gets tasered, what happens? They drop. They drop like a lead balloon. Boom. And for an elderly person, that's not a crash hot thing to do. If an old elderly person has a fall and breaks anything, that's a big problem. It's not so much problem with what they broke, it's like the infection they can get when they actually have to have surgery to fix the problem. So if they break a hip or they break a leg bone, they have to have surgery to fix the hip or the leg bone, and the problem is the infection that they may get. Anyway, let's have a little bit of a listen to this story because it's terrible.
A 95-year-old great-grandmother remains fighting for life after she was tasered by police in her aged care home in southern New South Wales. Nine reporter Ashley Wick joins us from Cooma. Ash, the officer involved has been stood down.
The officer has been stood down. Well, no fucking shit. And the fact is, this is the funny thing is, it's not just a junior officer, it's a senior officer.
That's exactly right, Lara. The officer who discharged his taser, he's a senior constable with 12 years experience. His employment is under review as a critical incident investigation is being carried out. 95-year-old Claire Nowland, she remains fighting for her life here at Cooma Hospital, and yesterday we learned more details about how this happened. The great-grandmother who suffers dementia was holding a small serrated steak knife in a room by herself at the aged care facility where she lives. She was
So in a room by herself. So in other words, she was no threat to anybody else. She might have been a threat to herself, but you got to understand, it's like Someone with dementia, they will pick up something and they will carry it around with them. Unfortunately, in this case, it was a knife, but they it's they will pick up anything. It might be a pillow, it might be, a cushion, it could be an article of clothing, and they will hold it in their hand because it's comforting to them. So in this case, she just happened to have a knife. So yeah, not the best.
Tasered when she began to slowly approach police using her walking frame.
She slowly approached police using a walking frame, holding a knife. I don't mean... I'm sorry to laugh at this, but it's like, really? Really? The police? You tasered this woman. She's slowly approaching you, holding a knife, using a walking frame. And she doesn't have a full grip on the knife. She can't. If she's using a walking frame, her hands would be open. So in other words, she might actually have the knife with her on the walking frame, but that's not a grip hold. She's just got it with her. And apparently they've got footage, but they haven't showed any of the footage to the public.
I have seen the footage. It is confronting footage. We feel for all her family. We have extended, again, our sympathy and our concern for what they've gone through over the last couple of days.
Claire Nowland is being described.
Anyway, so that's all I've got for that one. But it's like, really? Well, I felt threatened because a woman with a walking frame was moving towards me and she had a knife. Yep. Taser her. Really?